Hi everybody, my name is Steven. I will be covering the skill that is known as empathy, located in Chapter 5. There are three types of empathy. The first type is somatic, second type is cognitive, the third type is emotional. Somatic empathy is defined as when you feel what the other person is feeling physically. For example, let's say your child has a recital and during that recital you start to feel butterflies or anxious or nauseous, something of the sort. What you are feeling is the somatic response, a somatic form of empathy, because you probably have experienced something like that in your life and you are relating to them somatically. Another form of empathy would be cognitive empathy. According to verywellmind.com, cognitive empathy involves being able to understand another person's mental state and what they may be thinking in response to that situation. An example of cognitive empathy would be, let's say, Chris has a dog, Archie. Archie is sick. He needs to go to the vet. Chris's friend Ricky may understand that Chris may be sad and afraid for his dog because his dog a while back got sick, and so he can kind of relate. So one thing Ricky might say would to express his cognitive empathy would be, "Hey, Chris, I know you're worried. Um, I can only imagine what you're going through or how you're feeling." And that may open up the conversation to where Chris could open up to Ricky more and be that, and he would probably say, "Yeah, I am feeling sad, or just feel appreciated that Ricky's there for him and relating with him." The third and final form of empathy is emotional, also known as affective empathy. According to bungalow.com, emotional empathy is a emotional feeling in response to a situation. An example would be, let's say, okay, Hurricane Katrina. Even though I wasn't there, I saw what happened, and a lot of people died, and I felt sad. Um, I personalized that. Even though I've never been in that situation, I can only imagine what their families were going through and feeling the feeling of helplessness, hopelessness, and then ultimately that person meeting their demise. It brought me to tears. And yeah, I mean, this is a form of emotional empathy. Just being able to, I guess, as best you can, put yourself in the situation. Another to change to change modes here. Another example of emotional empathy would be, okay, I have three kids, and oh, I'm sorry, four. I'm sorry, I have four kids. My son graduated, and I was super stoked, elated, happy. Even though I didn't graduate, I was proud of him. I mean, he graduated early for one, so that was really awesome. And I felt like, you know what, like we did it. Even though it was all him, I was happy for him. So that's another form, a positive form of an emotional empathy. So, according to the Oxford Dictionary, empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Um, I felt like I had to give you some other examples just so that way you can all narrow it down to this one definition. A way that I put empathy to use for me every day is in my profession. I am a hospice nurse, and it's easy to be desensitized after so many patients have passed away. I know that makes it sound ugly, but that is the reality. One way that I can try to keep myself grounded, is that by using empathy, I put myself in the person's position. I mean, I lost both my parents young, and so seeing when other people lose a loved one, it doesn't have to be their mom or dad. It could be anyone. I usually use these three tools. I will observe and see, okay, are they approachable? Are they crying? Are they unconsolable? And then I put myself in their situation. I say, okay, am I sad? I mean, how would I feel? I would feel sad. I would feel that loss. I would feel hopeless, alone, abandoned, all all feelings that everyone's allowed to have. The third thing I would use is I would ask. I would then say, based on how the family is grieving, I would ask if they're calm. I would then say, is there anything I can do for you? Is there anything you need from me? Anything I can do to help you get by in this moment? Maybe not that last one, but some people relate to just being straightforward. If they're uncontrollable, they're crying very loudly. I've seen times where families are on top of their loved one, and it's an understandable way to grieve. The best thing I can do is sit in silence and be there for them. I've done this a few times and it's been very effective. People feel that they aren't alone and that they feel comfortable. It bridges that gap for them. I hope that this presentation has helped bring some understanding to what empathy is, mainly focusing on the emotional aspects, not the active listening or anything of that sort. Um, Again, empathy is being able to put ourselves in the other person's place and to be able to understand their emotions. Thank you.